Hello, in this video I want to talk about a new feature that has been added to the banana signal. It is the version 10.17. You guys have 10.13. 14, 15, 16 will not be released. 17 hopefully will be released. I don't know when, but I want to talk about this new feature that is there. It will do two things for us. One is that it's gonna do that warning shot. You know, when people have this defense parameters around their, let's say, a farm or a big house or something, or if there's a territory that's been protected, there are people sitting at the outskirts or the borders of the territory, and they can fire a signal. Or if you want to warn somebody, well, war is going on, so I'm giving analogies of war, and warning shots are fired to alert either the enemy or your own friends. Anyway, so when there is a banana looks for a pullback signal. So as you can see here, this is a seed. Why is it a seed? Because the high of this candle is lower than the previous high, and the low of this candle is higher than the previous high, and the rest of the rules have been followed, so this has become a valid banana seed. Whereas the banana signal itself, let's get rid of these lines, arrows. The banana signal will have a high that is lower than the previous high, and its low must be lower than the previous low. It doesn't matter if the previous one is an inside candle or not, but it's checked that. So this high is lower than this high, and this low is higher than this previous low. So this is a banana, this is also a banana. But in this case here, before the banana occurred, we have a situation which could alert us slightly a candle before. So if you're on a 1 minute chart, a minute before, you probably are watching it. If you're on a 15-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, you're probably looking at other charts. And if you get a signal, it will alert you to say, warning, there is possibly something's happening. Market is reversing, and the next candle might be a banana. Why? Because if you look at this one, and the high is higher than the previous candle, excuse me, and the low is lower than previous candle. Well, now low is lower than the previous candle high. That's what it is. And then it also checks for whether the candle is a bullish or bearish, or whether the close was below the lower quarter in this case. So for a bullish, for a bearish signal, it's going to be a different thing. Now that's its first thing. So what it will do is that it will alert us, we will wait for it, and if all the rules are there and we are willing to take the trade, then we were ready to actually, take this number one. And in this case, we didn't have it, but we had the seed, we did not trigger, and then we have a second one and a third one, and the next one, it gets a trigger. Okay, let's go to the next one. So here's another slightly clearer example. I think I took it from DAX. So I'm not going to discuss how to take bananas, but I'm only referring to this candle. So as we can see here that we have probably a swing high or a range high, and then it gets broken, right? And then it goes sideways. So you have these seed signals to take. And then after that, you have you can't call this a pullback candle. It is half a pullback because the high is still higher than the previous high, but the low is not lower than the previous. So it's like a half a pullback, but it is a bear candle, and it is suggesting that we might be seeing some reversal, but it did not happen and starts to go up. So you have two impulse candles, and then you have the next candle where the high is higher than the previous. The low has not broken, so it's half a pullback, but it is a bear candle, which suggests that if the next candle breaks this low and the high does not break that high, high is lower than the previous high, it could be a banana signal, so it's an advanced signal. That's its purpose number one, as you can see here. Let's have another example of it as well. Here we have a bear example. So we have a, no, not that. So we see an impulse move, and then there's a pullback. It's a beautiful banana signal for you to take. Then it breaks again, and as you can see, there's a reversal candle. Now, bulls are buying this, and then on the next candle here. So on the next candle we see, let's remove that. What we see is that we have a bullish candle, but the next candle after that breaks the high of this, and it's a small candle, so we can see that the bear trend might resume, and we have a banana signal, but we got a warning in advance. So there you go, that's a bear example for us. Now there is another feature that is available to us. It can do two more things, and both of them are connected. If you remember the fruit methodology, this is half of that. We are not necessarily using it for reversals, but we could assess the market, or people who want to do reversal signals, specifically on the hourly chart or the daily chart. What they can do is that if the market is stretched and there is a relevant, let's say, a support and resistance zones up there. Let's suppose this is an hourly chart, and you go to a daily chart and you see strong support, the market is in a tall range, or suppose the market on the daily was in a downtrend and this was a pullback up and it hit its previous swing high, and you see this signal, it's a strong reversal, and this one obviously happened on the 23rd of Feb, so we know that there is geopolitical issues going on, and obviously market will go bearish. So this was your early warning signals. You could trade it here by going short here and stop loss up there. That's one thing, but we don't trade reversals, we trade with the trend. And then when the trend matures, you can see we have one signal, so we have a dot here, and then the next candle, another dot is very level to it, and there's a third one, and there's a fourth one, creating 4 equal lows. So if it breaks this, it would be hard for the market to keep that. As we can see, as soon as the market went below it, buyers bought below these lows and market went all the way up. So that's the other. So if you see multiple dots, similar to like there's 1 and 2, you can actually create a zone and extend it further. So that's another option or feature that we have now. There's one more thing I would like to talk about. Okay, so on this Euro USD hourly chart, I have marked a few levels. So let's start from here. So that's your swing low, and that's the relevant swing high at that time. I recommend that you watch that video that I've released about how to mark your swing highs and lows. It's very useful for the hourly, 4-hourly, or daily chart. So if I put a line here, this would be a swing low, and at that time that will be a swing high. Once this swing low is broken, we will continue to consider any new low as our new low. So we'll continue to keep considering that as our low, and then all the way up to here, you can see there's a dot there, right? And it goes up. So this then becomes our most recent swing low. And when we mark this, we look back, we still have this or that as our swing high. So we can see that the move down is very strong. Then there's a pullback. And here there's a reversal candle. We have banana signals, and it starts to go down. And as soon as this is broken, we start to see new lows. So at the end of this candle, when we look back, what we would do is, we would then consider this as our most recent swing high, the minor one. Major would still be that, because that's where everything started from. But now the price is far away from it. That's not of use to us. So that's our swing high that time. This would be a 3. This would be a, it would be 4. Let's actually restart that. But anyway, I'll mark this later. Just delete them. Okay, so we started here and here. Then we have a new low and a new high. Then we created a new one here. All right. So when we created this new and we look back, we have a very minor swing high here, but I'll ignore that for now. I will consider this as my swing high because that's a continuing breakout phase. This candle has not really changed the breakout phase, so I will not consider this as a swing high. It's rather a pullback single candle. Comes all the way down. what do we see? The low is lower than the previous. It goes up. We have a dot. And then it goes up. And when it goes up, it breaks the previous swing low and starts to go up. And so, but we haven't broken at this time. If we marked this as our swing low, then we would change this. Well, this is our swing high, lower high. And then we have a new higher high here based on this. But if we keep it there, then we will still be looking at it and waiting for it. And then price comes down. And as soon as it breaks the previous high here, then we can look back and we can consider this or this. This is our major and this is our minor swing low. And when price starts to break this previous low, then we look back and this becomes our new swing high. So that's our swing high. And then price breaks this previous low and creates a new swing low, and we can see dots here. Now this is what I want to talk about. Now sometimes when the market moves too fast like this, and then there's an impulse move up with creating new highs, as we can see here, and then it comes back, it creates that 1-2 situation. This is where we would call this a PC setup. So that's your 1 up, 2 down, and here we go. That's the magic signal. This is your fruit signal incorporated into the banana signal. Now, if you were looking at the hourly chart and you were going bullish, you could go long here. But if the next candle here was a banana signal, a confirmation, then you most probably would either tighten your stop losses, or you would wait, or it would just turn into a rent and you would just take the banana signal and go short. So that's another thing, possibility in this. And another one is, before we finish, is that if you're letting your trades run and then you see one of these, then you can use that as your exit signal. So I hope this helps. Version 10.17 will be released hopefully in a week or two.